What's worse than a wolf in sheep's clothing? A wolf in shepherd's clothing. Nigeria, a nation where religion is central to millions of people's lives, has become a green pasture for exploitation by devious individuals disguised as loving Christian leaders. These fake pastors have turned the work of God into a lucrative business and a source of livelihood by preying on the trust and desperation of their faithful followers. In this video, we are going to delve into the dark world of these self-proclaimed prophets. We will explore how they manipulate their congregations, the method they use to amass wealth, and how they can be stopped. In a country like Nigeria, with a high rate of religiosity, over 85% of the population belongs to one denomination or another. Churches have become more than just a place of worship. They are also venues for displaying one's economic, political, and social influence. The spread of Pentecostalism throughout Nigeria has led to the establishment of different churches with varying doctrines. While many of these churches are led by genuine men of God, a significant number are led by devious souls who see the church as a money bag, a means to cash out and enrich themselves. In recent years, these fake pastors have dominated a significant number of Christian churches. These pastors operate under the guise of deliverance ministries, promising wealth, sound health, and success to their followers in exchange for monetary contributions, which they term sacrificial seeds to obtain desired blessings. They take advantage of many Nigerians by preying on their struggles, performing unrealistic miracles, and offering fake solutions to desperate people. One of their most profitable schemes includes selling supposedly holy items like water, oil, handkerchiefs, and sand. They claim these items can cure sickness, bring wealth, and keep evil spirits away. However, they charge very high prices, taking advantage of people who are already struggling and desperate for help. Almost all these fake pastors operate this way, selling items they deemed blessed or holy. Take for instance, a certain pastor in Port Harcourt, Nigeria, who sells blessed handkerchief. He claims they possess the power to alter destinies. During church services, the young pastor on the pulpit would dramatically raise a white handkerchief to the sky and call out prices for the supposed blessing, starting with an exorbitant amount and gradually decreasing it. Remarkably, the same handkerchiefs are used for both those who paid the highest price and those who paid the lowest. When questioned, the pastor justified this practice by stating that all are equal before God. This young man of God has done more than sell blessed handkerchiefs. He is also a seer of the past, present, and future. This ability wins him the trust of the congregation, feeding them with fake prophecies. Fake pastors often thrive on making false prophecies. A young woman once became a victim of such a prophecy. Desperate for a turnaround, she was told that she would leave Nigeria within 3 months. In faith, she spent all her savings to process visa. Yet, when the 3 months passed, the visa wasn't approved, leaving her delusioned. These fake pastors also use psychological tricks to manipulate and take advantage of their members. This isn't the kind of hypnotism you see in films, but rather subtle methods like repeating phrases, using persuasive language, and creating intense emotional moments during services. These tactics confuse and disorient the congregation, leaving their minds vulnerable to brainwashing, with critical thinking weakened. Followers become easy to control like puppets on a string. A particularly disturbing example was a case reported by Vanguard in 2009 involving a church in Lagos. During one of their services, every member, including their prophetess, went naked, claiming it was to foster unity and familyhood like that of Adam and Eve. The story didn't stop there. It got even worse. The prophetess banned all forms of sexual intercourse, even between married couples, claiming that they were now all brothers and sisters. Failure to comply with the church's doctrine resulted in members being stripped, flogged with cables, and having pepper applied to their private parts. Members were also pressured to make large financial sacrifices, surrendering possessions and savings. The abuse came to light when a member, Friday, of Oregbu, reported to the State Criminal Investigation Department (SCID) after being flogged 17 times with a cable and having pepper rubbed all over his body. His report led to further investigations, revealing other cases like that of Mrs. Stella Good News, who was flogged for having intercourse with her husband, resulting in 2 miscarriages, and Sister Chinyere, who was beaten and had a candle inserted into her private parts to chase away the spirit of fornication. In extreme cases, fake pastors take things further, moving from financial to physical and sexual exploitation. This is particularly common in churches where female congregants are in the majority. These women often seek change in marital status, fruit of the womb, or liberation from spiritual husbands. This makes them easy prey for these so-called men of God to manipulate and use for sexual satisfaction. A disturbing example occurred in Lagos in 2022, where a popular pastor was accused of indecently touching the private regions of his congregation during spiritual healing. This act shows how far some pastors will go to satisfy their desires, all under the guise of religious deliverance. These fake pastors have gone to great lengths involving diabolical means to achieve their desires and emerge victorious. They consult native doctors to gain powers to predict the future, perform miracles, and even heal the sick. Despite these acts, they still attribute their successes to God's handiwork. Some of them use spiritual water to wash their faces before each service, claiming it enables them to prophesy and receive revelations. Many of these pastors can prophesy with alarming specificity, even revealing your bank account number or what you ate last week. A notable example is a church in Onitsha, Anambra State, Nigeria. This church has been accused of operating like a cult, using manipulation and coercion to control its followers. The pastor has also been accused of using fetish objects and charm during services, staging fake miracles and healings. These fake pastors have turned the house of God into a den of robbers, exploiting it for illicit activities. A fake RCCG pastor in Ogun State was once arrested for selling guns to a notorious robber, claiming he used them for hunting. Another pastor was caught at Murtala Muhammad International Airport in Lagos with 1.5 kilograms of cocaine in his luggage while attempting to board a flight to Nairobi, Kenya. Fake pastors have a significant impact on the Nigerian society, harming people in many ways. Some individuals lose all their money because they believe the pastor's false promises. When they realize they've been deceived, they feel emotionally broken and lose faith. An example of this is a fake pastor in Lagos who was caught staging fake healing miracles. He hired people to pretend to be sick and then healed them during their service. The scam was exposed when one of the fake patients didn't get paid. This shows how some people exploit others' faith for financial gain. Another case is that of a pastor in Ondo State who orchestrated a shocking scam by staging his own kidnapping to swindle money from his congregation. He sent a distress message to his church members, claiming he was being held captive and demanding a ransom for his safe release. The unsuspecting church members rallied together to raise the funds, but their efforts were in vain as the police soon discovered the pastor's deceitful plot and took him into custody. The case shows the extreme measures some fraudulent pastors will take to exploit and dupe their followers. The damage caused by fake pastors extend beyond individual victims. When Nigerians discover these deceptions, they lose faith not just in the church but in religious institutions overall. This distrust often spread into other aspects of life, making people more cynical and accepting of corruption. The increase in fake pastors have painted a picture in the minds of Nigerians that no one can be trusted, that even pastors are just legit Yahoo boys in disguise looking for their next cash out. They are devils in white parading as saints. This has led Nigerians to embrace corruption, accepting it as a part and parcel of Nigerian behavior, even in the house of God. In recent years, efforts have been made to expose fake religious leaders who scam their followers. Social media has been a key tool in this effort, with critics like Very Dark Man using the social media platform to call out well-known pastors. The move has sparked a lot of debate, with many Nigerians starting to question the ethics of their religious leaders. However, it's challenging to bring these fake pastors to justice because laws protecting religious freedom make it difficult to prosecute them unless their actions are clearly criminal. While these laws are important for protecting genuine religious practices, they also shield fake pastors who exploit their followers. So, How do we stop these fake pastors from causing further damage? It's not an easy task. The fight against fake pastors would require a three-stage approach. First, regulating religious activities. Religious organizations must ensure their leaders are ethical and genuine in their spiritual guidance. Second, monitoring financial practices. The sale of holy items and extravagant financial demands must be closely watched and regulated. And third, educating followers. Encouraging critical thinking and skepticism in religious congregations will help people identify and avoid exploitative leaders. Nigeria's religious integrity depends on teamwork between the government, religious groups, and the public. To build trust and protect people from fake pastors, we must work together to stop their harmful activities. This won't be easy, as the problem is deeply rooted in the Nigerian culture and economy. But with persistence and a commitment to fairness, we can reduce the influence of fake pastors and ensure that religion brings comfort, guidance, and strong values, not just personal wealth.